At the FayWhat Show, we want to introduce you to interesting people that are important to our LGBTQ plus community, and this girl is it, baby. I am so excited about this next interview. I'm like totally fangirling. When I saw her beautiful face, like I kind of melted. It's just how I am. It happens. So let's talk about Queer Eye Season 6. So Queer Eye Season 6 took the Fab Five to Austin, Texas, right? So you guys know Anthony, you guys know Jonathan, you know Karamo, you know Bobby, and you know Tan, right? So they took over the Lone Star State, where they met this beautiful, beautiful woman named Angel Flores, a 22-year-old powerlifter and Olympic weightlifting coach who looked super confident, like a badass at the gym, but not in her own life, which was super, super surprising to me because she is drop dead gorgeous, all right? Help me welcome to the FayWhat Show, Angel Flores. Woo! Yay! Woo! ¿Cómo estás, mi niña?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Good, good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Angel, so, okay, we're going to talk a little bit about everything. So just deal with me, okay? Yo soy Latina, so yo empiezo acá, yo termino allá, yo voy para allá. You know, it's like, it's how I do, you know? So, Angel, season 6 of Queer Eye was a doozy. Have you watched all the episodes?
Oh, I believe I've gotten through every single one of them. Having gone through the experience myself, it's definitely like, oh, watching it over again. But I definitely took the time to watch as much as I could and take in as many of the stories as I could because they're all so amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I'm getting chills right now because I'm just thinking about it, you know. The Snow White of Central Texas, right? The dog rescue
Mhm.
one. Oh my God, I cried when they showed the
Oh,
barn.
bawling,
Bawling, bawling.
bawling.
Thank you. I am so glad that I am not the only sister doing that. I was a mess. Or the prom one, I was a mess too. You know, so
Oh my
aside,
God.
oh God, oh,
So good. And I got to
so
meet
good.
the teacher too, Tara, who nominated everybody. They're amazing. Tara is absolutely amazing too. So I've being able to meet other heroes too has been absolutely awesome.
Oh, so aside from yours, which obviously was my favorite, which one of the other episodes was one that was your favorite?
I mean, I have a personal connection with the kids from the prom episode and with the teacher from the prom episode. So I just had to. It definitely like it hits. It hits so good. It just hits every note. And as somebody who was just recently in school, it's very much like, oh, I would, I don't know how then that new experience is, right? I know that I graduated college on my laptop essentially, right? But I
Mm,
never thought about like what the kids are going through, that their
yeah.
whole high school experience is completely changed. That it really just changed my entire mindset.
Well, and you know, a couple of weeks ago down here in South Florida, we had a girls, gays, and them's prom, right? And it was wonderful because it gave people, adults, they gave young adults the ability to go to prom their true, authentic self. And it was crazy how many people didn't get that option growing up. You know, how was
Oh,
your
absolutely.
experience?
Oh, my experience, well, I didn't figure anything out until a little later. So I actually figured out I was trans when I was 20 years old. I was driving home from college. I moved an hour north of San Antonio to Austin, Texas to go to college. So it's a really quick drive. But I like to listen to podcasts. And on that podcast, one of the hosts came out as trans. So that kind of just set up everything of like, oh, I'm just like her, right? But to look back at high school, I didn't get to experience any of those like childhood moments, right? And as my true self, right? And looking back, there was definitely a sense of discomfort and a sense of not loss, but just kind of disappointment that I didn't get that, you know? So I'm taking moments now to try and like find my inner child and see what she wants, you know, and see how I can grow her up.
I love that. So you're in Texas, and like I
Mhm.
told you before the show, you know, things are really bad here in Florida. You know, we can't say gay. The students can't come out to their teachers. Teachers can't even mention their same-sex partners. You know, you can't wear a flag on your lapel. You can't. I mean, it's a hot mess. And whenever we're feeling bad, I think, well, at least we're not in Texas.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, whew.
I know, as you rub your face. I mean, like, how is it being LGBTQ plus in Texas? I mean, because we are targeted like everywhere, everywhere here.
Everywhere. Everywhere. I had the greatest opportunity recently to go to an event with Beto O'Rourke, one of the governor candidates for the upcoming race. And
Beto, with
I
who?
was
With
able
who? I'm
to,
sorry?
yes, Beto,
Oh,
with
yes.
Beto O'Rourke.
Hmm.
Ah, yes. And so I got to ask him questions about his plans for keeping trans people safe and keeping the trans kids safe, especially. And one point that I brought up is that I take a risk every time I walk out that door, right? Especially in Texas. I take a risk to my own health, my own safety every time I go out in public because I know that some people out there see me as evil or dangerous or as something to be arrested and put in jail, right? It's definitely an experience that has completely reshaped how I interact with the world and how I interact with everything around me. And to compare it, I have been visiting Seattle a couple times over the last few months, and to walk outside the door and not feel in danger, right? To not
Mm.
feel at risk, to see other trans people on the street or in the stores and having conversations and making new friends, that was something completely foreign to me that I had not experienced at all, right? And it's complete 180 from how it is down here.
Mm. So why not move?
Well, don't my friends in Seattle definitely want me to.
Right, I bet. Because I mean, if I was your friend in Seattle, I'd be like, look, the weather's kind of crappy sometimes, but you get to be you. And that right there would solidify me moving over there.
See, I watch enough Grey's Anatomy to get a little excited about moving to Seattle, but no, it's
So,
definitely like in my sights. But I know that there's still a little bit of work to be done down here, and a few more people to help down here.
no, I get you. I get you. So let's talk about your identity. You have mentioned a couple of times that you identify as a trans woman, or a woman living the trans experience. A queer trans femme is what you had told one of our producers. Why not a lesbian? Because you're still with the lovely Katia, right? I loved her, by the way. She was so beautiful, and your relationship was just like it was just such an optimal moment in the episode. You know, she made it seem so flawless and so easy. Like, hey, I'm just here to support her. I love her, and that's it. There was not even like a question. Was there any editing or anything there?
No, no, absolutely not. One thing that I have to give to Katia every time is that she helped me through these massive experiences in my life. She was my rock and my anchor. She gave me the space to ask questions and to really figure out who the hell I am, right? And I know that no matter how our relationship might change or might evolve, that like I always have that place in my heart for her, right? There's always going to be a love for her, and I know a love for me that neither of us can really explain, right?
Okay.
We're just connected, and and as the most supportive person in my life so far, I have to give it to her. Like she's been absolutely amazing.
Okay, so that makes more sense to me. You're going on this journey together. So why put it in a box? Why say, okay, I'm with a woman, so I have to be a lesbian? That's not necessarily true. You are still exploring to see where Angel wants to end up, and right
Oh,
now,
absolutely, absolutely.
right? And Katia is, along for the ride. She's your boo, she's your love, she's your support, and however that looks like is what it looks like. So how different are you and Katia? Like me and my wife are like night and day. Like, she doesn't like musicals. Like, how dare you be LGBT and not like musicals? There's something wrong with my Cuban. But anyway, I digress. Are you guys alike?
We're actually pretty different. There's certain things that we tend to just completely just mesh on and be completely 100% on the same page on. And there's a lot of things that we disagree on. And honestly, maneuvering a relationship while also maneuvering my own transition was completely like, whoa, what an experience to do at the same time. And I know that she feels the exact same way.
Yeah, no, and she seems like a wonderful person. I will say I started following her. I won't say stalking. Okay, it was kind of stalking also. But Katia just came across like such a wonderful person, and I love that aspect of it. So let's talk about, that they have makeover segments in a million shows, right? And most of the time when you see the makeovers done, the person comes out kind of awkward, or they're tugging at their clothes because they feel like, I would never wear this. In every single look that they showed when you were doing your makeover, you would go, ta-da, here's me with another outfit, or look at this leg, or look at this. I mean, like, this was not the first time that you had been made up or dressed up like that, and to, I mean, because you were just girly, 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 ta-da, this is me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, there were a couple outfits that Tan threw at me that I was like, that's a little not in my wheelhouse. But what was great about those moments is that as a trans woman, I had never seen myself be beautiful. Right? Like I've seen myself in the mirror, and the people around me and my partner are able to tell me that I'm beautiful and tell me that I'm gorgeous. But to turn around in the salon chair or to walk around the corner and look in the mirror and to see that I have completely changed, right? That the face that I'm seeing in the mirror is completely different, that the body that I'm seeing is my own, right? That
Yeah.
I have true ownership of my form and that I feel beautiful in my form. That is an experience that I wish so many other people could understand, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. And really only trans people get to really scream it right now when we all should be running around and figuring out what makes me feel 100% the best, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you should all be screaming, and you should be given the voice and the platform to do so. You began your transition in July 2020, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Or you started HRT, you started your hormone replacement therapy around that time.
Yes, July 22nd, 2020.
Okay, and so like I know my wife also loves to do weightlifting as well, right? And she is a nurse practitioner, and she's constantly screaming about muscle mass and about how these people are ridiculous when they don't want to let a trans woman compete in the Olympics. And you know, she is just a huge supporter. And I remember you writing about like your first couple of days on hormone replacement therapy and how you couldn't lift what you used to lift. You know, how has that come now that you've been on the hormones for about 2 years?
Oh, so I've had a lot of issues because of HRT. Not issues in terms of my feminization, because I have made amazing progress, but actually a problem that we're coming across right now is that my body's taking all of my testosterone and converting it to estrogen. So I experience nausea, rapid muscle loss, I go through energy really, really fast. I'm fatigued all the time. I've had
Girl,
to take
you have a full blown period. That's what
oh,
you've got. That's what
yeah,
it feels
but
like.
it's every day. But it's every day, that's been a struggle. So I actually recently just made the decision to step away from competition to try and find my own health. And because of all these issues, I've actually had to start taking testosterone as well as my estrogen to even stay at a livable level. Essentially, I have to use outside testosterone because my body won't produce any at all. And if
Wow.
that doesn't tell you what a lot of us trans women go through, that's the basics right there. Is that if we lose weight, it's muscle. If we
Mhm.
gain weight, it's fat. So many trans athletes struggle and struggle and struggle, and I have seen a lot of trans women, especially, enter the sports world and just reach a level where they can't keep going. Right?
Yeah.
Um, Whether it be because of anxiety, depression, or simply because their bodies are not able to keep up with other cisgender peers, the cisgender peers who are able to train at their highest potential, right?
Hmm.
I'm trying to just compete as me,
Yeah.
right? I'm not even thinking about winning. I'm thinking about standing on the platform and hearing, this is Angel Joy Flores, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, I can't even envision winning anymore because it's so hard for me and it's so hard for a lot of other trans women. And
And people
anybody
don't
who
know
tells you
that.
differently, I just,
And
yeah.
people don't know that, Angel. Like, I can't get over that. Like, again, you know, when my sister started hormones, she couldn't push a chair. Okay, like
Hmm.
literally, like, and this is someone who used to do CrossFit, who was just very heavily into the gym world, and she could not push her chair in. And I was like, "You're playing with me, right?" She's like, "No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, this is just what it is." That's why it's like you see these news reports, and it's like, you people are idiots, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
um,
Like and I don't mean to be mean about it, but yeah, like you're like these people are just I don't understand where your brain is, like why your brain can't wrap your head around that, right? The hormones run the body, and we've established that through science, and now we just have to believe it when it's standing in front of us, right?
Yeah, right. Go figure. Follow the science. Ugh.
Oh.
So then you're not training anymore at the Liberation Barbell Club.
I'm still training there. It's still definitely one of my home gyms. Still definitely one of my favorite places to be ever. I just simply have taken the competition aspect and put it aside for now. Right now, it's about, okay, can I reach a livable, like healthy state where I'm
Yeah.
not struggling to get through my days, where I'm not sleeping for half my day and avoiding work for the other half, right? I right now I'm just trying to be healthy, and if I can be healthy in this new form, in this beautiful form, I know that my life will be 100% better.
Yeah, and you will be, Mama. I promise you. Let's talk more about Queer Eye. How did you get on?
Oh my gosh. So, my old boss, the owner of Liberation Barbell Club,
Which is a queer-owned
she
gym, right? It's a queer-owned
queer owned
gym.
gym, queer woman owned and veteran owned gym.
Oh, dope.
Lori is an absolutely amazing person. She's done amazing things for the community and amazing things for the gym. And so she essentially saw that I was trying to live my life unapologetically. I was trying to train as who I was, and this was like a month into starting HRT, right? I hadn't even started seeing any changes, and I was already like, let's put the booty shorts on and grab the women's barbell and get going, right? And she has always been one of my biggest supporters and one of the people behind me, pushing me every single day. And she saw that I needed a little bit of help because every day I'm walking into the gym and I'm training people and I'm having a lot of fun, but I don't have anything else, right? I don't know how to wear clothes outside of gym clothes. I don't know how to put makeup on. I don't know how to take care of my hair. I don't know how to do any of these things. And bless her heart, Katia cannot teach me all of these things either. So together, Lori, together with my old coach and some other workers at the gym, they all got together to create kind of a big like proposal, and sent it over to Netflix and Queer Eye, and they were like, "Here's her story. This is our proposal for her episode. Take it or leave it." And I'm not sure how long it took, but at some point, Lori calls me and she says, "You're about to get a call from a Netflix producer." Beep. And I was like, "Wait, what?"
What? Wait a minute. I got to put some clothes on. I got to put some makeup on. Hold on. They're just calling you.
Oh, hold on.
Okay. That is incredible. So, you can tell again from a viewer, it seemed like Jonathan took a liking to you like almost instantly. It was
Absolutely.
like there was like a connection there that we can see as a viewer. Was that edited? Was that made up? I mean, it just seems so genuine. So I think I know the answer to it, but.
Oh, so I'm going to preface this answer with nothing in the episode was edited or inauthentic. Every single moment in my episode was absolutely authentic. There was no acting, no scripting, no nada. So for mine and Jonathan's relationship is amazing. And it's amazing because I did not have an older queer or trans person to look up to or to guide me through my journey. I was really just crash coursing it as far as I could. And so when I sat down in that salon chair and I had an older queer and trans non-binary person ask me questions and truly start having conversations with me that I've never had before, right? That was completely new. It was completely different. For me to have that experience and to have somebody who's made it 20 years more than I have, right? Who's made it much further than I have so far. It was absolutely amazing. And I feel that Jonathan just knew that it was just time to take me under a wing and just bring me along. And thankfully, I've been able to continue coaching Jonathan and helping out with training and participating in gymnastics workouts. And it's been quite the journey. And the friendship has been absolutely amazing.
They seem so much fun. Like so much fun. And they have a show coming down here to Fort Lauderdale, and it's like a gymnastics show. I'm like, what? I'm going. But I'm like, what?
Oh, absolutely. You should go. You should absolutely go. We start off the routine with a gymnastics routine, and then Jonathan goes full into comedy, and it's an absolutely amazing show. It hits every note. They are just absolutely amazing at what they do. They're amazing. I can't talk about them enough.
Okay, then you solidified. I'm buying tickets and I'm going. That's it for sure. They're going to be in Fort Lauderdale, I believe, at the Broward Center, and I am definitely going to go. Who else impacted you from the Fab Five? Who else it was just like, I need to further be friends with this person?
I mean, all five of them just did absolutely amazing things for me. I have to give it to Karamo though, because nobody else could have dragged my father into that into
Oh
that
God.
room, and nobody else could have dragged me into that room, right? Nobody else could have sat me down and been like, "Are you ready for this?"
Wait,
Right?
I'm already
I love
crying.
telling the story. I love telling the story of Karamo sitting with me before that scene was filmed, and Karamo looks at me and says, "Are you sure?" Because I can totally just not open the store right now, and we can send him home, and it can just not be time for this right now. And that singular check-in prepared me for that entire scene. That singular check-in built my confidence for that entire scene because I knew that there was somebody that truly had my best interest in mind, no matter what walked through that door. And thankfully, what walked through that door is my loving father, who's been loving me this entire time. I remind everybody, especially after they watch the episode, that in that year that we weren't communicating, he was still doing the work. He was asking questions. He was educating himself. He was defending me to other people, right? He was still my dad, even if we weren't directly communicating. And the work that he needed to get done just needed to be on his time. And now, having gotten past this experience, I can completely understand that. We all need a moment, and I know that we're all coming from love.
Well, let me tell you, Angel, yo lloré como una loca. I was just there crying and crying when it came to your dad. You know, as a queer Latina, you know, I wanted Mr. Flores to be my dad. If he is up for picking a Latina lesbian from South Florida, I am there. Okay. God, okay, folks at home, if you didn't watch this part, you definitely got to just go watch this part. You know, you feel, it's like the whole world at this point of the segment goes, oh, like, Angel's father just basically says, I miss my kid. I haven't seen my kid in a year, and I just miss my kid, whatever that looks like. And just like you said, he was still asking questions. Lost as hell, lost in many parts, but just, I miss my kid. And he broke down and he started crying, and I was a mess, How does he feel about Queer Eye and the whole experience, and you're being famous afterwards and people seeking you out? How does your papa feel about that?
Well, I think people need to recognize my dad in public more and not be so scared to come up to him when they recognize him in public. Because I get recognized all the time, but he could definitely use a little bit of love. but jokes aside, he loves it. I think that there was always hesitation going into it because how was our story going to be portrayed? That was always the question. Is like, what if this isn't how we want it to be? But it wasn't, and it was amazing. And my father has found that he can help other people and also build on himself, right? He can answer questions and really be this kind of role model for other parents who are looking for answers, right? Who are going through the same thing and don't know what to do. When ultimately the answer is just love your kid and educate yourself.
That's it. It's love. That's it. Everything else falls into place as long as there's love. How crazy is that?
Absolutely.
Angel, what's next? What's next? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where are you going to be when you're 32? 30, yeah, 32.
Oh, Faye, I can plan 10 years ahead. I can barely plan for next week. What's next? I am going to get healthy. I am going to find a nice spot in my life where I feel like I can truly do anything without being restricted. And past that, what's next for me is reviving my coaching, which I put aside to work on some content creation and social media stuff. But ultimately, helping people is where I do best. So soon I will be reopening my coaching and getting more one-on-ones and really letting people have access to my knowledge and my skills and trying to get as many people into the gym as possible, right? That's always the goal. That's always, especially from the community, it's always going to be the goal. And the more that I can do that, well, maybe after I do that, I can plan for 10 years down the line.
We'll talk then. Okay, we'll talk then. The episode for Queer Eye season 6 was called Angel Gets Her Wings. Do you think that you got your wings?
Oh, absolutely. I got my wings, and the episode has 4 Emmy nominations. So, I mean, definitely some wings.
Girl, you might be getting an Emmy. Like, how dope is that?
It's not my Emmy. It's not my Emmy. It's completely the show's Emmy.
However, it's your story. So I would be taking, hey, part of that Emmy's mine. You better send me un rincón or something.
At least a thank you, no, please.
Right? Well, listen, you are still my favorite of the whole entire season. I felt like an instant bond to you. I know, a little psycho, I apologize, but it is what it is. If you are ever in South
You're
Florida,
Latina.
right? If you're ever in South Florida, please come on by. I'd love to take you around. I know plenty of people that would be so excited to meet you. We wish you all the best here at the FayWhat Show, and we will continue to follow you and everything that you do. Make sure that you follow the lovely Miss Angel at Archangel Joy on IG, correct, right?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
You are truly your namesake, mamita. You bring joy, and continue doing that, all right? I promise you that everything will be resolved and you will be the ultimate wonderful specimen that you are, in however that looks like. You look simply gorgeous, pa que lo sepa. Está lindísima.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Faye. It's been absolute amazing to talk to you. It's been absolutely awesome. And thank you so much for all of your kind words.
Of course. Mwah. Catch you next time. So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the FayWhat Show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the FayWhat Show. Get the week started with me.